What's up, everybody? Jay Nelson here, Facebook Live. Guys, I've been doing these interviews with agents all across the nation, top producers all across the nation that have come on board with EXP, and I am just so pumped up about my interview tonight. This is with a gentleman by the name of Sky Pacot. He goes by Sky's the Limit up in Lynchburg, Virginia. He's a REMAX Lifetime Achievement Award winner, which he sells just a ton of homes up there. He's a top producer. He's a great guy. And Ashley and I have just made such good friends with him and his wife. And they are just amazing people. They've been down here to Nashville. We've been up to Virginia. Hey, what's up, Tim? What's going on? You did a great job last night, brother. That was fun. So we got a lot of people tuning in. Listen, here's what I'm going to ask everybody to do. Let's share this. Let's share the love. Agent ownership, EXP. We're teaching agents how to own the brokerage. And I'll talk a little bit about that with Sky. I'm just so pumped up. This guy, he's the coolest cat. So I'm going to patch in. Former REMAX, 16 years at REMAX, Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Sky Pacot. So let's get my boy on the Facebook Live. Here we go. So let's see here. Where is my boy? Hang on with me, guys. Hang on with me. Mr. Sky Pacot. Y'all can look him up. Sky's the limit's what we say. That's what we say. Hold up. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Logan Simmons, Blake Duncan. Sky is... Here we go. We got to get Sky on camera. Come on, party animal. Let's do this. Are we in Lynchburg, Virginia? See, look, we're using technology, guys. He's in Lynchburg. We're down here in the South, baby. Where you at, Sky? Bam!
There he is. What's up, J-Rod?
Hey, is this your first Facebook Live?
This is my first Facebook Live.
Well, welcome to the Facebook Live universe.
I thought I was pretty cutting edge, man. You're showing me something every day, Jay.
Hey, it's good to see you, brother, really.
You too, man. It's been too long. We got to come down there and go honky-tonking again soon.
Dude, I don't know if I can run with you if you come back to Sky can run. I mean, y'all are just, no, we had a blast that night. You guys came down, stayed at our house, and just, I'm telling you, man, I'm just so excited about what you guys got cooking up in Lynchburg, Virginia. And, you know, sky's the limit, right? That's what they say, right?
Sky's the limit. Aim high, brother. My boy Alan's on here watching with us tonight, too.
Alan's on here?
Heck yeah.
What's up, baby? Hey, sucker, man. Actually, let me see if I can tag him. Hang on a minute. Let me try. Well, you know what? It won't let me. I don't know what's going on. Okay. But he can share it on his page and all that. There he is. There's Alan. What's up, bro? Working on some big builder deals. Y'all got a lot cooking up there in Virginia. Y'all got kind of the same deal going without a lot of everything sells so fast, right?
We have a big shortage of inventory, and I will tell you that is one thing, you know, still rolling strong in the real estate, man. And you know, I told you I was going to speak to this a little bit, Jay. You know, one thing I keep hearing is, man, I'm not a recruiter, man. I'm here to sell real estate. And I think that's the same thing I told you. And I got to tell you, my business actually picked up coming into the first year when I made my move to EXP, because
awesome.
It seemed like there was a momentum. People were excited to see me, you know, kind of step out on a limb and do something different. And this year just started out with a huge bang. And I mean, it's just so exciting.
Yeah, man, I know you're moving cribs left and right, man. So let's talk.
Trying to catch Jay Nelson.
Man, I'm just working, bro. Look, hey, let me show you something. Y'all, I'm in my office here at the house on the Alabama state line. But look, man, look at all them files, baby. That's a bad. I'm showing like, dude, I am literally. You're not even gonna believe this. Hold on, let me show you something.
Jay Nelson, tech savvy on Facebook, and
Let me
carries
show
more
you
paper
something. Hold on,
carries
hold on,
more paper
hold on.
folders than I know anybody.
Listen, dude, listen. For those people that say, oh man, Jay's just recruiting. Look at this. This is how many houses, and I'll still like to get with my clients. This is one client over the next 3 days. Look at all those houses.
Man, I'm going to send you some gas.
There's 22 houses, and they're big boys, all right? They're anywhere from $1.4 million to a little bit more than that. But here's the deal. I mean, there's some off-market. You got to go off-market to find stuff too, man. What's your thoughts on that? I know you got a lot of following up there in Lynchburg, and people are following Sky's the Limit, Sky Pacot team, all of that. I know you got probably a lot of your clients out there that are thinking, man, I should call Sky. I might want to move up, move down. Don't you think they should just go ahead and call you and let you know that they're thinking about selling, because the market, you're getting different pocket deals and people are calling you?
No question. The last 3 houses I listed, one sold -1 days on the market, and the next 2 sold above list price within 24 hours and multiple offers. So, I mean, the market is hot. There's no question about it.
Yeah, and it's good to, it's good to know if some of your past clients, because you sold just a ton of real estate, Lifetime Achievement Award. You just hit that about a year ago. When did you hit that?
No, I didn't. I left before I hit Lifetime Achievement Award. I think I might have been this year. Remember, I didn't go to R4 this year, Jay. So I don't know what I achieved at R4 this year.
You were right there, and then you said, "Man, you know what? You were right there." I thought you already hit it right before you left. Now, so anyway, you cut it. I mean, you Hall of Fame, REMAX, all of that stuff. What are your thoughts? You were at REMAX. Tell us a little bit about your background in real estate, kind of how you got into real estate, how long you've been there, what you did, how you learned. Maybe share with some people maybe some of the hard lessons you learned in real estate.
Well, I'm still learning hard lessons, but on a daily basis, it seems like. But basically, I grew up in construction. My dad's a builder. I grew up building houses before I ever sold one, and I think my dad will attest to this. There was one too many Pacot boys in the family business. It was me, him, and my brother. And so, somebody needed to do something different. And I was recruited by a local firm 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago now. And I never looked back. I found my niche. I love selling real estate. I love meeting people and interacting with people. So I worked for a local firm, and then I worked for another franchise for 1 year each. So my 3rd year in the business, I was recruited to REMAX, and my business exploded from there on. Like I said, I never looked back and kept growing year after year from that until I saw a little bird started chirping in my ear from Tennessee, and then just opened up a whole new world for the whole industry, man.
Yeah, the deep South coming up to the North South. You know what I'm saying?
You cannot put those 2 words.
You know what's funny? Y'all think y'all are Southern boys up there.
It's a funny story. So I roll into Nashville. It's dark. They tell me where I'm, try and give me directions. When my GPS takes me back through a holler somewhere, I go across a creek. Thank God I drove the Tahoe. And I get up there and I get to talking to Ashley. We're talking and I can't remember what I said. She goes, "Oh, no, you got Jay wrong. Jay's my city boy."
Right. No, I am. I'm a little city boy. I grew up in a neighborhood. But, you know what? I still talk like a redneck, right?
Man, I miss you, Jay. We're definitely making a trip down here very soon. I think you're going to have Alan knocking on your door here before.
Yeah, no. Alan's coming to Nashville. So, man, yeah, we got to get together. So let's talk about, you grew up in a builder's family.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big, I tell you what, I told somebody the other day, I remember having this conversation. They were saying, what do I need to be a better realtor? I said, know construction, know how to build a house, right? And so that's a huge advantage that you have that background. Talk about that and how that kind of helps you into real estate.
What I learned anywhere from when I was first working for my dad when I was younger, with a shovel in my hand and a gravel pile up to when, I finished as a trim carpenter. The things I learned building houses and construction are things I've carried with me forever. The work ethic, just the art of it, the craft of it, of building a house. And it's really helped me in my real estate career. You always have to be careful, overstepping your bounds as a realtor and trying to point out certain deficiencies, but it really gives you an eye for things that are, the obvious and even some of the not so obvious. You can kind of walk in and get a feel for, there probably might have been a few corners cut here, or, this is something, when it's time for inspection, you really want to be here and ask these certain questions and make sure they look closely at this kind of thing. So, the whole gamut, just from work ethic to just to being better at my job. I mean, it's just always been invaluable knowledge.
I mean, and I didn't really grow up in construction, but I was always fascinated by it. So when I got into real estate, that was like one of the things, man. I would just go to different construction sites and talk and ask a bunch of questions till I kind of learned a lot about it. But I think that's a huge deal to have that background, especially for your clients when they call you to buy and they call you to sell. I mean, the fact that you grew up building houses is a pretty, it's just not everybody can say that, So you're out, you're running around, and I just want to say something to you, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm getting text messages left and right,
blowing up.
Cribs, right? But this is something I really want to say to you. You really took a step out there, being one of the first people in, golly, did I turn my phone off? I'm just getting text after text. Here it is, 8:30 at night, 8:45. And like, hey, what about my house? That's all good. I mean, hey, that's what we do, right?
Absolutely, man.
We're never off.
Never. 24/7, baby.
24/7. So, you were the first guy in, and are you in southern, Lynchburg is southern part of.
We're Central Virginia.
Central Virginia. So you were like one of the first agents to come into EXP that left a big firm like REMAX. I mean, it's like you were the guy that kind of, took a step out there on the limb and said, this is where the ball's going. I'm going to be committed to EXP and building it all over the world. Talk about that. I mean, has that had, because there are a lot of people that are a little scared off the ledge and go, man, agent ownership. What's your thoughts on that? How do they get over that fear?
I've heard people speak to this in so many different coaching seminars and inspirational speakers, but it's funny how you can always tie it back to finding your why, your motivation. Obviously, I've already said I love real estate. I love interacting with people. I love helping people realize dreams, but I also love my family, and real estate is very demanding. Your phone's blowing up right now. I got 4 more calls I got to make when we hang up here, and it's actually 9:45 in Lynchburg. So, I had to do a quick kiss with the kids goodnight. I've been thinking a lot about private school, in the future. So it became less and less of even a question of what I was going to do. The more I thought about things and the opportunities I saw that I could hopefully achieve in the very near future through EXP. And that is quality of life and building something that is going to support my family, where it's not always that constant hustle necessarily. I want to hustle because I want to. Be nice when I'm, another 10, 15 years when I'm hustling, not because I have to, because I want to.
I love that. No, I feel the same way. And, there's so many people coming into this industry, and they want to be mentored. They want to be around people like you. I mean, think about how many people over the course of the last 5 years even, man, my phone is blowing up. I think I forgot to forward my phone. Did I tell you to do that?
You did, but I didn't do it. I didn't listen either.
Okay, all right. So we'll just blow up together. There's so many people that, they want to be in the business, but they want to be around really, really successful agents. And, at EXP, we're able to mentor people into the business because we're all about helping other agents. We're able to mentor them, but we don't have to try to, take so much from them, you know? It's
Well,
like,
and Jay, even aside from that, for some of the newer agents that don't have the experience to necessary mentor, that don't have 15, 18, 20 years, I've reached out and interacted with some agents on Workplace, and had an overwhelming response and support rate from agents in Texas. I mean, all over the country. I had a challenging deal going on with good old BOA trying to get a deed of trust release from like 13 years ago. And I just posted in Workplace. I probably had 6 or 7 agents reach out and offer their assistance and ideas on how to. So it's not only the mentoring that's awesome, but it's also the camaraderie and reaching across so many state lines and across the country and just being able to interact with some of these big dog producers like Jay Nelson in Nashville. And seriously, man, I'm just a little Lynchburg, Virginia here, bud. But it's exciting. And to see how so much of the competition from maybe in your small market gets taken out of it, and all of a sudden it's just nothing but camaraderie and help coming from every direction. It's pretty amazing.
It sounds so cool. So what you're saying is, even as a 16-year realtor at REMAX, you're able to go out and in the whole course of across the nation, be able to learn about little things from other agents outside the market through the internet, by the way, through the cloud, baby, right?
Through the cloud, Jay.
Are we in a cloud right now?
I stay in a cloud, bro. No, absolutely. I haven't been able to I didn't make the last one, but that, for instance, that iConversation on Fridays, there's so many big hitters coming, like Tim, I don't know if Tim, I thought I might have heard you say hello to him. If he's on here, I wanted to thank him for last night. Listening to him talk, and something he said that really, really hit home with me was he discussed the difficulty in the decision in the beginning. And there's no question, man, I was happy at REMAX. I had my home. I've been there for a long time. Love the people I worked with. So in the beginning, there was some fear there. There was some hesitation that all, quickly dissipated. But, to hear somebody like that, who's obviously an incredible business mind, talk about the difficulty in getting there, but then really kind of seeing the writing on the wall and how he examined it and really thoroughly went back and forth over it and then still made that jump. I mean, that's strong. That is strong.
You know what? It's so true, though, man. It's so true, because I remember I remember exactly where I was when I got on the webinar and saw EXp and the agent ownership. What's water?
Just ice water.
What is this, dude? This is water. I swear, you know that.
I didn't want you telling tales on me, Jay Nelson.
I'm a lightweight anyway. But Tim said thanks to you just now.
Yes, sir.
Love you, Tim. I remember that I was when I first saw EXP and I'm watching this webinar and they're showing me this whole thing where, I'm watching it in my BMW. I got the wireless router. The BMW is my office. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I work out of my freaking car because I'm busy, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching this video, and Rob Flick, who, built 25% of the entire Keller Williams organization 20 years ago, is telling about this agent ownership. And I swear, when you talk about, y'all, I swear my hand started shaking. Like, I'm serious. I was like, oh my gosh, because I had never planned on leaving REMAX. I actually loved REMAX. But I was thinking when I saw it, I just said, that's where the ball's going. And I'm not going to sit around on the sidelines and watch other people win the Super Bowl when I know I'm good enough to be in the game, and so are you, and so is every other agent. And I just saw the future, the cloud, less overhead, right? If we're owners, track with me, Sky. If we're agent owned, right, and we have less overhead, it's more money in the owner's pockets, right? So we're thinking about it differently, right?
Absolutely. But the beauty of it is we're not necessarily changing anything that we're doing now and what we love to do. You know, what did I say in that video when I left is hashtag still doing what I love. We're just simplifying it. We're simplifying it, not having to stress about, my God, how many times I go to the office when I'm paying, you know, $750 a month for that tiny little office space, whatever it is. So it's, you know, more tools to do what we love, more tools to serve our clients, and the financial freedom that's going to come with that to be more confident in our day to day. And I mean, it's pretty much across the board.
You know, another thing, I want to get your thoughts on this. The fact that we are a cloud office, to me, it gives more time for us to give to our clients, because we're already, you know, crazy busy, and, you know, it's allowing us to work behind the scenes faster, all right, because we're working inside the cloud. Our accountants are in the cloud, so it's more time that we can spend talking to our clients on the phone, or taking them to coffee, or getting with them. I mean, do you feel like this has helped the amount of time a little bit? That I know there's been some learning curve, you know,
Of
there
course.
always is.
I'm a slow learner anyway sometimes, Jay. So that, I mean, that I'm a little stunted there to begin with, but no, absolutely. Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you. You know, I went paperless. You know, I saw those files on your floor in there. I've been paperless for probably close to 10 years. You know, I've ever since I had a smartphone, I quickly figured out how to basically have everything at the touch of a finger. I just, because I was that guy that when you get out of the open the truck door, the wind's going to hit, and every file I have in my hand is going to blow across the parking lot. So then I spend the next hour trying to make sure I don't lose anything important. So I was kind of forced to do it. But absolutely, you know, the technology is one of the things that got me. I really enjoy technology. I've always embraced it in business, and I've always seen the necessity for it in real estate, especially. So, you know, that part's kind of been an easy transition. You know, there are a lot of systems and a lot of different technology with the EXp. So, yeah, there is a bit of a learning curve, but the tools that they give us to operate our business are amazing.
So tell them what's happening in North Virginia right now with the explosion of EXp, because
Yeah.
you guys are coming on. I mean, you and Alan and some of the other producers down in Lynchburg, down in the central area, but in Northern Virginia right now, I mean, nationwide, we have 100 agents coming a day.
I think they're averaging 8 agents a day, just in Northern Virginia. Yeah, they're exploding. You know, and I'll tell you, it's interesting to watch that dynamic. You know,
Yeah.
we're talking a difference of an association, you know, quite a bit under 1,000 agents versus an association with like 10,000 agents.
Wow.
So yeah, it's exciting to watch though. And you know what's funny is, you know, nobody likes to admit, well, a lot of people in this industry don't like to really admit that there's something out there they don't know about and they're not already on top of, you know. So it's interesting to watch the wheels kind of start to turn when you know, initially you might talk to somebody who knows it all, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm good. I've already looked into that. And then all of a sudden you kind of get well, wait a minute, what'd you say? What, tell me that part again. I didn't know that.
Agent ownership?
Yeah.
How do the agents own it?
You know, I think I told you I was sitting on the screen porch with my wife the other day. I got home and she had a brilliant hashtag. She was making a joke, but she came up with a hashtag. What was it? Hashtag agent owned, not hashtag agent owned, not owned agent.
Not owned agent.
Exactly. They're not owned by the broker.
Hey, did I ever tell you the time that I had this realtor that owns a company? By the way, he doesn't sell a lot of real estate, you know, but he owns a realty company, right? All right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have a file going like that one, all right? And, you know, we're out and we're focused on agents, you know, we're focused on helping people that are producing and different things. And I get a text one day and he's like, stop calling my agents. And I'm like, you know what? You don't own them. I mean, this isn't, you know. We don't own the agents. I mean, I want them to, you know what? I fully want agents to do whatever they feel like is best for their family.
Sure.
That's the number one thing. Like, if somebody thinks, man, EXP is not going to be what's best for my family, then I don't, you know, I want them to stay put, but I want them to be educated, Sky. I think so many of them don't want to be educated on what it is. So I've been telling people from now on, hey, why don't you know your you know what? We don't want you to come to EXP, but at least sit down and understand the ownership side of EXP, the agent ownership side that gives every agent ownership. At least sit down and look at the mechanics, look at the math. You know, Tim just said, I did. So Tim makes $1 million a year at REMAX, by the way, for those of y'all that didn't watch I mean, that's what he does. And he said, I did too. In reality, I just had to poke holes in it, but he couldn't. So he's like you. He's like me. We sat down, we saw this thing, and we were like, where's the hole? Where will this not work? Why will this not be the biggest real estate company ever created? And then we come out the other side going, it is, right? And it's fair, and it's honest.
And what is it, 198% growth at each quarter? Is that the last stat I saw? I mean, that's kind of hard to argue with.
Dude, I mean, the other day I was in a meeting for a TV show thing that we're going to be doing, and one of the guys that was, I know
you holding out on me?
It's nothing, dude. It's really not a big deal. But the producer was from San Diego, and I'm sitting there, and I walk into this meeting, and I got an EXP right here, and he looks at me, and he's like, "You're with EXP?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Bro," he goes, "Have you ever heard of Kyle Whistle out of San Diego? He's the #1 agent in San Diego." He goes, "He's my best friend. I've been working with him for 5 years on our show down in San Diego." He goes, "Dude, he just, you know, a week ago says I'm going to this EXP," and he had his own brokerage, like Whistle Realty. And I mean, you're hearing about the guy does what, 500 houses a year?
But that doesn't make any sense, Jay.
They come to EXP.
EXP's not known. I mean, you know, how are your clients going to find? Nobody knows what EXP is. That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
By the way, Brad asked me.
Hey, nobody cares. They're hiring us as agents.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Brad, I saw Brad post a little bit earlier. He wanted to know where a majority of my business came from. Yeah. I think the last 3 years has been 94% to 95% is all referral based. So, and yeah, I mean, I had that question mark, you know, am I going to be able to support my family without the balloon next to my name? And, you know, the first quarter, I haven't missed a beat. I think I'm stronger this first quarter out of the gates than I was last year. So, hey, sky's the limit, baby. Sky is the limit. All right, so let me tell you a couple things I looked at the other day. Dude, I lose track of days. Do you ever do that? Bro, I don't even know what I did last night. I don't know if last night was 3 nights ago. So the other night I was looking, and, you know, I was looking at some numbers, Sky. I want to run this by you. Okay? Mm-hmm. This is crazy. Okay? So the average realtor in the United States sells $1 million. No, it's less. I did the math. Less than 6 transactions. I was going to say 6 transactions. It's 4.45 transactions per agent. And that's to the, dude, I'm not into, I don't want to round. I want the exact numbers. All right. So in 2017, there were 5,510,000 homes sold, and there were 1,236,544 realtors. Okay? So those are the true numbers, all right? So if you take that and divide it, that's 4.45 houses per agent per year. So there's a lot of part-time agents, right? The average home price in the U.S. is $235,000, okay? That's the correct number. So that means 4.45 by 235K. That means the average realtor last year sold 1,045,750. So if they made, check this out, Scott, check this out. If we all know
know that there's all kinds of variables. If they
Sure.
made whatever 3%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they're at, a little over $30,000 a year. It's very difficult to support a family on $30,000 a year right now, okay? But with the cost of living going through the roof. So the average realtor makes $30,000 a year. That is a true number, okay?
Yep.
So my question is this. My question is this to the realtors. Why not step over onto the ownership side of the table like Warren Buffett? Like, why if there's that many, do you realize there was almost 78,000 new realtors coming to the marketplace? They're looking for a home. Why not get some ownership in the home? I just think we're going to need to, as realtors, be more diversified with the ownership side. So, unless your company is going to give you ownership, and maybe they will, but they're not going to give you global ownership like we have. I mean, for you to be a part of our partnership, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Nashville, you're in Virginia, but you're a part of our ownership partnership. I mean, are you thinking more than locally now?
But again, Jay, I mean, those numbers are awesome. But think about it this way too. What other firm are they going to go with? What other company are they going to go with? There's some great companies out really well, but they're getting the perspective of a broker or an office manager, one person. This company is a new agent, somebody who's trying to break into the business. Crazy. The ability to go in several times a day and get trained by mega agents all over the country and soon all over the world. Where's that going to happen? I mean,
how about this? Here's another thing. Especially if the average realtor's making $30,000 a year, then they're probably popping another job in there. How do they have time to get to the training, right? So
get to the training or grow their business.
They can get to the training right there on their iPhone or right there in the cloud. To me, just makes it easier. What if you're a single mom and you want to be a mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to get to the trainings, right? And your baby's 3 years old. Well, I was in a presentation one day and had a young lady on the front row, and I was like, you know what? The cloud makes sense. I said, do you have kids? She said, yeah, I got a 5-year-old. I said, well, let the 5-year-old watch TV and you learn from the best agents in the world in the cloud.
No question. Well, and then not to mention the fact that, passive income is extremely hard to come by. Okay. A lot of, you'll hear realtors all the time, relate passive income to owning, as much real estate as they can acquire. Man, as far as I'm concerned, I don't consider real estate investing passive income, because last time I checked, maintenance, tenant calls, I mean, there ain't nothing passive about that, bro.
Bro, I think you might have been sitting at my kitchen table 4.5 hours ago.
Really?
For you to bring that up. Yeah, I mean, we were sitting there with one of our assistants going through some of the properties we own, and well, you know what? You're going to have to put the HVAC in that one because it's out, and that's $7,000. I mean, it sounds good, but it's not easy. I'm not saying. I mean, look, we own property, okay? We own.
Yeah, and listen, there's nothing wrong with that, but
just work. It is work.
It's not passive.
What about when they tear up your house as a renter?
I'll tell you, man, it was a couple of years ago. On crunch time, I couldn't find who I needed. I think it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was down there rolling paint on the wall. I had to get somebody in the house quick. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Huh?
You were a painter that day.
Dude, hey, listen. I need a hat rack for the amount of hats I wear in a day, and it wouldn't even hold them all, bro.
So,
you know the drill.
So, what are you thinking right now? I mean, like I said, it was a tough decision to leave REMAX, and here you are. I mean, where do you think this is? What's the future for Sky Pacot's family? And y'all have 3 kids. No, two.
3.
3.
Which one did you forget, Jay? I'm going to tell them.
Don't. I love
as Jesse, Will, and Murph.
They are so sweet. I just loved hanging out with them. They got your personality, man. They're just
Oh, God help them. You guys have to come back and visit us again soon too. They in fact, every once in a while, one of them will be like, "Have you talked to Jay Nelson lately?" I'm like, and they always call you Jay Nelson.
Did you take them to see Star Wars?
When am I going to do that, bro?
Money.
It's still on my refrigerator. It's still on my refrigerator.
The money I gave you to take them to see Star Wars is still on the fridge?
It is.
All right, well then do you have Amazon.com?
Yes.
Amazon Prime? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will you go buy the movie? We just bought it the other night.
Oh, really?
It's $19. It's on Amazon Prime, and it'll be.
I'll do it tomorrow. We're getting 6 inches of snow tonight. We'll probably be home for a snow day tomorrow.
So they can watch Last Jedi?
Yep. We did start chipping away. I'll get it done, I promise.
Tell them to call Uncle Jay once they watch it.
As long as they don't call Miss Ashley and sick her on me, I'm good. No, I'll tell you, where I see, you know, like I said, it's all about the why. You know, I hope to see my kids finish their school career in private school, and really, you know, hopefully in the near future, every week's not going to be that 120-hour week we pull. In the near future, hopefully it'll only be a 40-hour work week, and I'm doing a lot more with the kids. You know, I'm really looking forward to just trying to build this business, and more importantly, keep building my real estate business, because I make so many friends, you know, through my clients. But I want to see this team grow. You know, I was on the track. I started building a team a couple of years ago at REMAX. Hadn't found all the right combinations, but I was on the right track. I've got some great folks I'm working with now, and I brought them to EXp with me. And in fact, my assistant's getting licensed. So yeah, it's exciting to see the excitement from you shared with other people. You know, my assistant, in fact, she was one of the people that was really supportive coming on board. You met her, Candy.
Yeah.
She looked at it, she's like, "Why wouldn't you do this? This looks like a no-brainer." I was like, yes, yes. So she wants a piece. She's working on her license. She wants to come on the team and be part of the fun, man.
You know, and to think that, you know, we have an opportunity to build nationwide. I've already had multiple discussions with agents that are out of the country that are saying, "Hey, the second this thing goes live in our country, we're rolling." I mean, Jason Gessing was talking the other day, our CEO, about people in Dubai that have already reached out and said, "Hey, when are y'all going to bring this to Dubai?" People in France, once we get things converted in the cloud into French. And I mean, this is a global freaking, do you call it a takeover, or is that too harsh? I'm pissing somebody off, man. I've been
listen. Well, I love the term you throw out there all the time. It's at least a disruption, a global disruption. Oh, and don't forget, I am looking forward to the family being on the beach with an umbrella drink with the Nelsons as well soon.
Oh, dude, we got to do that this summer. Let's plan it. Let's plan it. So, what's your final words on this Facebook Live? I mean, by the way, I'm telling you, I love your family, man. I mean, to think that EXP would literally give me a friend all the way across the United States that I would literally hang out. I mean, y'all stayed at my house. We stayed at your house. It was like family, dude. I mean, you know, I mean, that's just special, dude. And we're partnered. It's not like, you know, it's maybe I got something to do with helping your kids and you helping mine. It's not, hey, what can Sky do for me? It's about what can Ashley and I do with you guys, and how can we collaborate and help each other, right?
And I absolutely. And you know, one thing struck in mind from, you know, when you guys came up here and stayed with us, you know, you met some other folks from some other teams in my state and some influential people in the state. And it really rung out true with me that, you know, she made the comment, that she was floored at the distance, but the support still from you and Ashley. And honestly, you know, it was a kind of rough go, the transition for me, mostly emotionally. You know, I have really, really close relationship with some of the folks I left at REMAX, and it was an emotional time. And it wouldn't have been as smooth a transition without the support of you and Ashley. So I just look forward to, you know, continuing to grow this friendship, growing our businesses together, and just, hey, what'd you say earlier, man? Sky's the limit. Let's roll and let's break through.
Sky's the limit, baby. Well, listen, man, we got to get together soon, and you know, we'll just keep going out there every day. And like I said, like I tell everybody, there's a table, and there's an agent side of the table, a realtor side of the table, okay? And then there's the ownership side of the table, right? That's where Warren Buffett's at. Gary Keller's over here. They're all over here. What EXP does is we just take the table away, baby. There's no table.
The world is mine.
We're going to be realtors and owners. Realtors and owners. We're going to sell. We're going to help agents. We're going to sell. We're going to help agents. Man, come on, baby. Let's get this.
We're in. All in, brother.
All right. I love you, man. Thanks for
Stay in touch, Jay.
Live with me, bro.
Hey, first one, man. Made it through.
Hey, the first of many. You and Alan need to do one together. You and Alan do one next week or something there, and I'll get on there and mess with y'all and say, oh, look at those two.
I'll be sure and tell you when it is.
All right, hey, Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
I already paid for that. I left the money. Go get the money. That was the money I gave to your kids.
I haven't touched it. I promise. I promise.
Good job, guys.
Ashley's saying, hey, he has not gotten the kids to see Last Jedi yet.
What?
I told you.
Look, dude. Look. Sky. Sky's the limit, dude. Look at this. Hold on. It gets better. Dude. Look.
I'm not sitting here while you go change.
People already know I'm crazy. Look, man, sky's the limit.
You had me worried. I thought you were going to come back in your Jedi robe or something.
All right, see you, bro. Have a good one.
Later, Jay. Bye, Ashley.
Bye.